To improve your Kendo game, it is important to know and understand the basics. There is no other way of getting better at something without the fundamentals and practice. Kendo is a martial art consisting of physical exercise and basic stances that meld together to get a polished sport. Here, I'll explain to you 15 basic concepts to improve your functional training of the body. First, the basic stance. This is the stance where everything will stem from, all your strikes and movements. In this stance, your center of gravity is now centered towards the balls of your back foot. And this is where you will get all your push in a single focus movement. Nick here will show you how to get a simple way of achieving this stance, simply with your back foot, make a 90-degree angle, straighten it, and lift it to the balls of your feet. To hold a sword properly, all you have to do is line up the curve of your hand with the stitching on the stick, and do the same with the other hand. Here we have Nick showing us that incorrectly holding a sword gives you terrible control and ability to wield a sword. And now, he shows us if held correctly, it would not easily be knocked out of your hands. Kendo is all about posture and stance. We see Nick not properly doing what he's supposed to, mocking showing the world of his massive skill. Now, we see him actually doing what he's supposed to, doing it with good posture and stance. Now we see Nick raise his sword in the air with the posture he is supposed to. If not done correctly, his balance could be off and not ready to strike his opponent. Next we see a horizontal slash aimed at the waist of an imaginary opponent, making sure to have the sword lowered to the side of his ear, using his body center of gravity for him. From top to bottom he strikes. Now we see Nick conducting a head strike, the most common strike in Kendo, bringing his shoulders into the form and striking down on his opponent. Next, a disarming strike aimed at the wrist of an opponent. To improve the steadiness of the sword, all the while keeping the fluidness of its movements, circling something or circling an opponent's sword can greatly increase swiftness and steadiness. We see a neck strike, and we see Nick doing it incorrectly using his posture and stance, making the strike basically work against him. To do so, it must be done with swiftness and to avoid openings in your defense and your stance. Next, we see a forward lunge, using the back foot as the main force to gain distance. The opposite of the horizontal slash, we see Peter doing the reverse striking from the other side. This repeated movement is what trains your foot to constantly be on its toes so that it may be ready to strike at any time. This exercise should be done with quickness, doing 50 of these short, repeated movements combined with a simple strike to train muscle memory. This exercise will improve the elasticity of the lunge done in the movements and the joints, all the while working on the explosive power coming from the feet. This V exercise of the sword that Peter is doing is to train the arms to be fluid all the while loose to improve striking from any angle. To loosen the joints and stretch the core muscles, this exercise will help ready the body for Kendo. To conclude today, we see Peter properly putting away his sword, respectful of it and wary of it.